The skies turned red when they came. Huge ships blocked out the sun as they entered Earth's atmosphere. The Krazoth Dominion had arrived, and humanity wasn't ready. Captain Ethan Mills watched from the Rocky Mountain outpost as Denver burned. He had been stationed at this remote monitoring station with 5 other airmen when the first ships appeared. Now, 3 days later, the world was falling apart. "Captain, you need to see this," called Airman Frank Reed, his voice shaking. On the screen, alien ships hovered over New York. Beams of green light shot down, and buildings crumbled like sand castles. People ran through streets filled with smoke and dust. Then the feed cut to black. "That's the 5th major city today," said Lieutenant Judy Parker, her face pale. "Washington, London, Beijing, Moscow, and now New York." Ethan rubbed his tired eyes. "Any word from command?" Judy shook her head. "Nothing since the emergency broadcast. All military channels are silent." The emergency broadcast had been clear. All civilians should seek shelter underground. All military personnel should engage the enemy using any means necessary. That was 12 hours ago. "Sir, I'm picking up something," said Frank, adjusting the radio. A voice crackled through, filled with static. "This is General William Porter. All remaining U.S. forces converge on Denver. I repeat, all forces to Denver. This is our last stand." Ethan looked out the window at the burning city below. Denver was already lost. "Should we go, sir?" asked Judy. Ethan thought about their options. 6 people with basic weapons against ships that could level cities. "No. Our orders are to monitor and report. We'll do more good staying alive and gathering intel." That night, they watched as the last human resistance was crushed. Through their powerful telescope, they saw tanks firing uselessly at alien ships. Fighter jets exploded in midair. Soldiers fought bravely on the ground but were cut down by weapons that seemed like magic. By morning, Denver was silent. No gunfire, no explosions, no signs of human life. Frank managed to tap into an alien communication. On the screen appeared a tall, gray-skinned creature with 4 eyes and no nose. It spoke in a strange language, but their computer translated. "Grand Admiral Vexthor, to all Krazoth forces, the human infestation has been eliminated from all major settlements. Begin Phase 2, systematic cleansing of rural areas. Our scouts report small pockets of resistance in mountain regions and underground facilities. Leave no human alive. This world will be ours within 7 rotations." "They're hunting down survivors," whispered Judy. Over the next few days, they watched helplessly as alien scout ships combed the mountains. They hid their heat signatures and stayed in the deepest part of their bunker. They saw families trying to escape being captured and taken to ships, never to return. 1 week after the invasion began, Frank picked up another alien transmission. Grand Admiral Vexthor appeared again, his 4 eyes blinking slowly. "The cleansing is complete. Our sensors detect no remaining human life signs above minimal detection threshold. Begin terraforming procedures. The Earth is now property of the Krazoth Dominion." "That can't be right," said Ethan. "There must be millions of people hiding." But as days passed, they saw no signs of human activity. Their calls on emergency frequencies went unanswered. Satellite imagery showed alien structures rising where cities once stood. The air itself began to change color as alien machines pumped unknown gases into the atmosphere. "What do we do now, Captain?" asked Judy, her voice hollow. Before Ethan could answer, the ground shook. Their bunker's power flickered. On their radar, they saw 3 alien ships approaching their location. "They found us," said Frank, grabbing his rifle. Ethan knew it was hopeless, but he checked his weapon anyway. "If we're the last humans left, let's make sure these aliens remember us." As the ceiling began to crack above them, none of them knew that deep beneath the Arctic ice, an alarm was starting to ring. Deep beneath the Arctic ice, something awoke. A soft blue light filled a room that had been dark for years. Screens turned on one by one. A gentle female voice spoke into the empty space. Global extinction event detected. Initiating Protocol Lazarus. The voice belonged to Dr. Lisa Wright, or rather, her digital form. Before the world ended, she had uploaded her consciousness into the Coldforge facility systems. Now she was the only one who could wake the sleepers. Beginning revival sequence for Alpha Team. Vital signs monitoring active. In the center of the facility, 6 large tubes stood in a circle. Inside each tube was a person, frozen in time. Frost covered the glass as the temperature inside slowly rose. Lisa watched through cameras as the life support systems pumped warming fluids into the tubes. Reviving Commander John Frost first, she said to no one. The first tube hissed as it opened. Steam poured out. Inside, a tall man with short brown hair and a strong jaw began to move. His eyes opened suddenly, and he gasped for air. His hands gripped the sides of the tube as he tried to stand. Easy, Commander. Lisa's voice came through speakers in the ceiling. Your muscles need time to remember how to work. John Frost looked around, confused. Lisa, where are you? A screen on the wall showed a woman's face. She had kind eyes and short gray hair. I'm everywhere in the facility now, John. And nowhere. My body died 4 years ago. John tried to process this information as he slowly stepped out of the tube. His legs felt weak, but he could stand. How long was I asleep? 14 years. 6 years longer than planned. John's eyes widened. 6 years. What happened? Lisa's face looked sad. The world ended, John. 8 days ago. Alien forces completed their extermination of the human race. As far as I can tell, everyone on Earth is dead. John steadied himself against a wall. That's not possible. I'll show you the data after we wake the others. They're ready now. One by one, the other tubes opened. Kate Morrison woke up fighting, nearly punching through her tube before realizing where she was. Peter Garcia came out calm but confused. Sam Hill immediately asked for his equipment. Amy Ross checked everyone's vital signs as soon as she could stand. Chris Bell wanted to know if he could contact anyone outside. They gathered in a meeting room as Lisa explained what had happened. On screens around them, they saw cities burning. Alien ships in the sky, the last human soldiers making their final stand. 8 days ago, all human life signs went dark. Lisa finished. Except for you 6. Why didn't you wake us sooner? Demanded Kate. Her red hair was still wet from the revival fluid. The program was designed to wake you only if humanity faced extinction. By the time my sensors confirmed what was happening, it was too late to stop it. John stood up and walked to a window that looked out into another room. Inside were weapons, armor, and equipment unlike anything they had seen before. What exactly are we, Lisa? He asked quietly. Your Project Lazarus, the last hope of humanity. Lisa's image appeared on a screen near him. You volunteered to be changed, enhanced. You're stronger, faster, and more resilient than any humans who came before you. I remember the procedures, said Amy, touching a scar on her arm. They changed our DNA, gave us implants. You each have different enhancements based on your specialties, Lisa explained. You were meant to be the prototype for a new kind of soldier. But now, you're all that's left. Sam walked to the window beside John. So what's the plan? 6 of us against an entire alien invasion force. There are other facilities like this one, Lisa said, in Europe, Asia, and Australia. If they survived, there are more soldiers like you waiting to be awakened. John turned to face his team. Though they had been asleep for 14 years, they still looked young and strong. In their eyes, he saw the same determination he felt growing inside himself. First, we learn about these aliens. Then we find out if there are any human survivors hiding somewhere. And then, he looked at the weapons waiting for them. We take back our planet. Kate smiled for the first time since waking. I like that plan. Outside the facility, snow fell on an empty world. For now, John Frost stood in the testing chamber, breathing hard. Around him lay the broken parts of combat robots. He had destroyed all 20 of them in less than 3 minutes. "Your strength levels are twice what they were before the sleep," Lisa's voice said from the speakers. Her face appeared on a screen nearby. "The nanites in your blood have been improving your body all these years." Kate Morrison walked into the room, looking impressed. "Not bad, Commander." She picked up one of the robot heads and crushed it in her hand like it was made of paper. "But I think I'm still stronger." They had been awake for 3 days now. Each day they learned more about what they had become. In another room, Amy Ross held her hand over a deep cut on Peter Garcia's arm. A soft blue light glowed between her fingers. When she removed her hand, the cut was gone. "The healing tech works perfectly," she said. "They put special cells in my body that can repair almost any injury." Peter flexed his arm, amazed. "Does it work on yourself too?" Amy nodded. "Yes, but it's faster on others. I can heal broken bones in minutes, but major injuries still take time." Sam Hill sat at a computer station, his eyes closed. A cable connected the back of his neck to the machine. Information flowed directly into his brain through the neural implant all 6 of them had. "Sam has downloaded all available data on alien technology," Lisa reported. "His brain can process information 5 times faster than normal humans." In the communication center, Chris Bell stood perfectly still, his head tilted as if listening to something far away. "I can hear them," he said softly. "The aliens, their ships make a specific sound pattern when they communicate. My enhanced hearing can pick it up even through walls of ice." John watched his team with a mix of pride and sadness. They had all given up normal lives for this program. None of them had expected to wake up to a dead world. "Lisa, show us what happened," John said. "Show us how we became this way." The main screen filled with videos from 14 years ago. The 6 of them, younger, in military uniforms, volunteering for a secret program. The world had been different then. At peace, but military leaders had worried about future threats. Project Lazarus was designed to create soldiers who could face any enemy, Lisa explained. "Each of you went through 50 surgeries and hundreds of genetic treatments." They watched as doctors injected them with glowing liquids, as machines attached metal parts to their bones, as they trained with new abilities, failing at first, then becoming stronger. "I remember the pain," Kate said quietly. "I remember wishing I could die during some of the procedures." "We all agreed to it," John reminded her. "For the good of humanity." Sam disconnected from the computer. "Well, humanity needs us now more than ever." Lisa showed them a wall that slid open to reveal 6 sets of armor. Each one was built specifically for its wearer. The armor was black with lines of blue light running through it. "This is cutting-edge technology," Lisa said. "The suits bond with your enhanced bodies. They make you even stronger, faster, and harder to kill." One by one, they put on their armor. The material felt cool at first, then warm as it connected with their skin. Information appeared in their vision as the helmets activated. "I've loaded all the data I have about the aliens into your suits," Lisa said. "They call themselves the Krazoth. They've conquered 12 other worlds before coming to Earth. They have weaknesses, but their technology is very advanced." John looked at his team, now fully armored and ready for war. They looked powerful, dangerous, like something from another world. "Do we have any advantages at all?" Peter asked. "Yes," Lisa answered. "They think all humans are dead, and they've never faced anything like you before." John walked to a large map of Earth displayed on a screen. Most of it was marked with alien settlements now. "We'll head south first," he decided. "Look for survivors, gather more intel. Then we find a way to hurt them." The 6 super soldiers stood together, the last free humans on Earth. Tomorrow they would leave the safety of their base and enter a world ruled by aliens. "Get some rest," John told them. "Tomorrow we start taking back our planet." The world outside was not the world they remembered. The sky had a strange purple tint. The air smelled different. Plants with colors they had never seen before grew along the snowy ground. "They've already started changing Earth to be more like their home planet," said Amy, scanning a strange blue vine with her suit's sensors. The 6 super soldiers moved south, staying hidden as they traveled. Their suits helped them blend into shadows and snow. They could move for days without rest, their enhanced bodies needing little sleep. On the 3rd day, they saw their first aliens up close. A patrol of 4 Krasov soldiers walked through a valley below them. The aliens were tall and gray-skinned with 4 eyes and long arms that ended in clawed hands. They wore armor that glowed with green light. "They're even uglier in person," whispered Kate. "We need to capture one," John decided. "We need to learn more about them." They set a trap using Sam's knowledge of alien technology. He created a fake distress signal that would attract attention. When one alien scout came to investigate, they were ready. The fight was quick. The alien was strong, but Kate was stronger. They disabled its weapons and communication device before it could call for help. Chris used his enhanced hearing to detect if others were nearby. "We're clear," he said. "No others within 5 miles." The captured alien spoke in a strange clicking language. It seemed surprised that humans still existed. "I think I can understand it," said Peter, touching his neural implant. "Our implants are adapting to their language." Slowly, they began to make sense of what the alien was saying. It called itself a scout of the 5th rank. It believed all humans had been killed. Its people were changing Earth's atmosphere to contain more methane, which they needed to breathe comfortably. "Ask it about other humans," John said. "Are there any survivors they know about?" Peter asked the question. The alien made a sound like laughter. "It says there were small groups hiding in mountains and caves, but they found almost all of them," Peter translated. They sent them to processing ships." No one asked what processing meant. They didn't need to. They left the alien tied up but alive. They had what they needed, knowledge that their enemy thought victory was complete. The element of surprise was on their side. As they moved farther south, into what was once northern Canada, they began to notice changes in the landscape. Large alien structures rose from the ground. Flying machines moved between them. The air became harder to breathe without their helmets. "We need to be careful," John warned. "There are more of them here." But then something unexpected happened. Their suits picked up a signal, a human signal, a simple radio broadcast, repeating on a loop. Just 3 words: "We are here." They followed the signal to an old mining complex built into the side of a mountain. The entrance was hidden behind rocks and strange alien plants. Sam used his tech skills to send a response signal. "We're humans. We're coming in." After a long pause, the entrance opened slightly. Guns pointed out at them. Human guns. "Take off your helmets," a voice called. "Prove you're human." John went first, removing his helmet slowly. The others followed. A gasp came from inside the cave. "My God," said a woman's voice. "You're really human." The door opened wider. Inside stood about 30 people, thin and dirty but alive. Their leader was a woman with short gray hair and determined eyes. She held a shotgun pointed at John's chest. "I'm Olivia Ward," she said, "former park ranger. Now I'm in charge of keeping these people alive." "Who are you, and what the hell are you wearing?" John stepped forward, hands raised to show he meant no harm. "I'm Commander John Frost. We're soldiers. We've been asleep for 14 years in a secret facility. We just woke up last week." Olivia lowered her gun slightly. "Soldiers, there's only 6 of you." "We're not ordinary soldiers," Kate said. A man pushed through the crowd of survivors. He wore glasses held together with wire and tape. "I know what they are," he said, looking at their suits with wide eyes. "They're from Project Lazarus. I worked in intelligence before the invasion." "They're super soldiers." "My name is Ben Carter," the man said. "And if you're really who you say you are, you might be humanity's last hope." Inside the mining complex, the survivors showed the soldiers their home. People lived in small rooms cut into rock. Children played in a central area lit by solar lamps. It wasn't comfortable, but it was safe. "We've been hiding here for almost a year," Olivia explained. "The aliens can't detect us this deep in the mountain." Ben Carter spread maps on a table. He had been collecting information about alien movements and bases. "Their main communication relay is here." He pointed to a spot 20 miles away. "They use it to talk to their ships in space." John studied the maps. "If we destroy it, we could blind them temporarily. But it's heavily guarded," Ben warned. "We've never had enough people or weapons to attack it." Kate smiled. "You didn't have us before." They planned for 2 days. The super soldiers taught the survivors how to fight better. The survivors showed them hidden paths through the changed landscape. Together, they prepared for their first real strike against the aliens. On the 3rd day, they moved out. John, Kate, and Peter led 10 survivors toward the relay station. Sam, Amy, and Chris stayed with the other survivors to protect their base. They traveled by night, hiding during the day. Their target was a tall tower surrounded by smaller buildings. Alien guards patrolled the area. "Remember the plan," John told the group. "We create a distraction. The super soldiers take out the main defenses. The rest of you target the power systems." Kate went first. She sprinted across open ground faster than any normal human could move. Alien guards spotted her and fired green energy weapons. The blasts hit her armor but couldn't stop her. She reached the first guard post and threw the aliens aside like they were dolls. The battle began. Peter moved through the compound, his enhanced reflexes letting him dodge energy blasts. He placed explosives on key structures. John fought his way toward the main tower, his strength allowing him to tear through doors that would stop normal humans. The survivors followed, amazed by what the super soldiers could do. For the first time since the invasion, they felt hope. Inside the main building, John found what they were looking for: the communication controls. He placed explosives while Peter downloaded alien data. "We've got what we need," Peter said. "Let's go." Outside, Kate was surrounded by alien soldiers. They fired from all directions, but her armor held. She leaped 20 feet into the air and came down in their midst, sending them flying. "Time to leave," John called through their comm system. They retreated as planned, pulling back to the hills. When they were at a safe distance, John pressed the detonator. The relay station exploded in a ball of green and blue fire. The tower collapsed. "First strike successful," John said, watching the flames. But their victory wasn't without cost. 2 survivors had been injured, and 1 killed. As Amy treated the wounded back at the base, the mood was mixed: pride in their success, sadness for their loss. That night, Lisa contacted them through their neural implants. "I've analyzed the satellite data," her voice said in their minds. "There's unusual activity in orbit. The aliens are sending ships to investigate the destroyed relay." "Good," said John. "We got their attention." "There's more," Lisa continued. "Long-range scans show energy signatures similar to our facility in 3 other locations around the world: the European Arctic Chamber, the Siberian Chamber, and one in Antarctica. They might still be active." This news changed everything. If other super soldiers could be awakened, they wouldn't be fighting alone. "We need to contact them," said Sam. But before they could make plans, Chris held up his hand for silence. His enhanced hearing had picked something up. "We've got trouble," he said grimly. "Alien ships. At least 5 of them. They're coming this way." Outside, the sound of engines grew louder. The aliens had tracked them to the survivor base. "They're hunting us now," said Kate, grabbing her weapons. John turned to Olivia and the survivors. "Time to move. The real war starts today." The survivors scattered into the night. John had prepared escape routes for this moment. The aliens would not find them all. "We need to split up," John told his team. Some of us need to reach the other Arctic chambers. They gathered one last time in a forest clearing, 5 miles from their former base. Alien ships searched the mountains behind them, their lights cutting through darkness. Kate and Amy will stay with the main group of survivors, John decided. Sam and Chris will set up our communication network. Peter and I will head to Europe to find the other chamber. Kate didn't like this plan. We're stronger together. But we can help more people if we spread out, John said. If we can wake the other super soldiers, we can fight back on a global scale. They shared one last meal together. Then, as dawn broke, they went their separate ways. Kate and Amy led 30 survivors deeper into the wilderness. They needed a new hiding place. The aliens would be hunting them with everything they had now. There's an old dam 10 miles west, Olivia suggested. It has underground maintenance areas. They moved carefully, avoiding open areas. Kate used her enhanced strength to carry children who couldn't keep up. Amy treated injuries along the way. But the aliens were getting better at tracking humans. A scout ship spotted them crossing a river. Soon, 5 alien fighters surrounded them. "Get behind me," Kate told the survivors. She stepped forward, her armor glowing blue as it powered up. The aliens fired. Energy blasts hit Kate from all sides. She absorbed the impacts, her armor smoking but holding. Amy moved among the survivors, using her body to shield them. "Run for the trees," Amy shouted. "We'll hold them off." What happened next would become a legend among the survivors. Kate and Amy fought like nothing the aliens had ever seen. Kate tore the wing off a fighter ship with her bare hands. Amy used her healing energy as a weapon, overloading alien systems with bursts of blue light. When it was over, the aliens were defeated, but Kate was badly injured. Amy worked through the night to heal her. The survivors watched in awe as Kate's wounds closed under Amy's glowing hands. "We need to keep moving," Kate said when she could stand again. "They'll send more." Meanwhile, John and Peter traveled east, toward the Atlantic Ocean. They needed to cross to Europe to find the next Arctic chamber. "Lisa says it's near Norway," Peter said as they walked. "If it's still operational, there could be up to 50 more super soldiers there." They found a small boat at an abandoned port. The ocean had changed color since the invasion, now a strange greenish purple. Unknown creatures swam beneath the surface. "The aliens are changing everything," John said as they sailed. "Soon Earth won't be Earth anymore." After 2 weeks at sea, they reached European shores. The land here was even more transformed. Alien plants covered buildings. The air was thick with strange fog. They traveled north, following Lisa's directions. After days of hard travel, they found it, a hidden entrance in a Norwegian mountain. "It looks untouched," Peter said with hope in his voice. Inside, after bypassing security systems, they found what they were looking for. Rows of tubes with sleeping soldiers. A control room still functioning on backup power. John activated the system. "Wake them up. All of them." As the revival process began, Lisa contacted them through their implants. "Something is happening," her voice said in their minds. "The aliens are moving ships to orbit. They're bringing in reinforcements." "They know we're a real threat now," John replied. The first tube opened. A woman with short blonde hair stepped out, looking confused but alert. "Commander Diana Clark." She introduced herself after John explained the situation. "European Special Forces." "How many of you are there?" John asked. 50 in this facility, all with different enhancements." John smiled for the first time in weeks. "Good, because we're about to start a war." Back in North America, Sam and Chris had succeeded in their mission. They had set up a global communication system using abandoned satellites and alien tech. For the first time since the invasion, humans around the world could talk to each other. And the message they sent was simple. "We are not extinct. We are fighting back. Look for the soldiers with blue armor." The awakening had begun. 6 months had passed since that first attack on the relay station. The world had changed again. but this time in ways that gave humans hope. 800 super soldiers now fought across the planet. All 4 Arctic chambers had been activated. The Siberian facility had added 200 soldiers with cold weather abilities. The Antarctic base had provided technical experts who could hack alien systems. John Frost stood on a hill overlooking what was once Seattle. Alien buildings filled the city center. But on the outskirts, something new had appeared. A human settlement protected by super soldiers. Smoke rose from cooking fires. Children played in guarded areas. Life continued. "Commander, the meeting is about to start," said Peter, approaching from behind. In an underground bunker beneath the settlement, leaders from around the world gathered via video links. Some were military personnel who had survived in hiding. Others were ordinary people who had stepped up when needed. All looked to John and the other super soldiers for guidance. "The aliens are bringing in more ships," John told the group. "They've realized we're a real threat now." Diana Clark's face appeared on a screen from Europe. "My team has discovered something important. The aliens' terraforming technology. The machines changing our atmosphere. They have a weakness." Sam Hill leaned forward. "I've analyzed the data Diana sent. The terraforming system works both ways. It can be reversed." "Meaning what?" asked Olivia Ward, who now led the largest survivor group in North America. "Meaning we could use their own tech to make Earth poisonous to them, but safe for us again," Sam explained. This was the breakthrough they had been waiting for. A way to force the aliens off Earth completely. But it wouldn't be easy. "The control system is in their mothership in orbit," Diana said. "We would need to get up there." The room fell silent. Getting to space seemed impossible. Then Ben Carter spoke up. "Before the invasion, I worked at a launch facility in Florida. If it's still intact, there might be a shuttle we could use." Plans formed quickly. Teams would attack alien bases around the world as a distraction. A small group led by John would find the shuttle and reach the mothership. 2 weeks later, the largest coordinated human attack since the invasion began. Super soldiers led survivors in strikes against alien facilities on every continent. While the aliens scrambled to respond, John, Kate, and Ben made their way to the Florida launch site. They found the shuttle hidden in an underground hangar, untouched by the aliens. "Can you fly this thing?" John asked Ben. Ben looked nervous but nodded. "I had basic training. With Kate's strength to handle manual controls and your quick thinking, we might make it." The launch was rough. Alien fighters tried to stop them, but Kate's enhanced reflexes at the weapons controls kept them at bay. They broke through the atmosphere and approached the massive alien mothership. "Grand Admiral Vexthor will be aboard," John said, checking his weapons. "He's their leader." They docked with the mothership by forcing open an emergency airlock. Inside, they fought through alien guards. Kate cleared the path with her incredible strength. Ben guided them to the central control room using maps they had stolen from alien databases. In the control chamber, they found him, Vexthor, taller than other aliens, with 6 eyes instead of 4, wearing ornate armor. "Humans," he hissed in their language. "You were supposed to be extinct." The fight was brutal. Vexthor's technology was beyond anything they had faced before. John was thrown across the room, his armor cracking. Kate was pinned down by energy fields. Ben, with no enhancements, managed to reach the terraforming controls while the aliens focused on the super soldiers. "It's ready," Ben shouted. "I've reversed the system." With his last strength, John lunged at Vexthor, driving him away from Ben. "Do it now." Ben activated the system. Throughout the mothership, alarms blared. On screens, they could see the planet below as the atmosphere began to change color. Vexthor screamed orders to his crew. "Leave this system. Earth is lost to us." As alien ships began to retreat from Earth's orbit, John looked at the blue planet below. For the first time in years, it was starting to look like home again. "We did it," Kate said softly, helping John to his feet. 3 months later, John stood in a field of new grass. Earth plants were growing again as the alien vegetation died off. The sky was becoming blue once more. Humans emerged from hiding places all over the world. There was still much to rebuild. Cities lay in ruins. Many species had been lost, but humanity had survived, and it was stronger than before. John planted a small tree in the soft earth, a symbol of new beginnings. They killed every human they could find, he said to the children gathered around him. But they didn't know about us. And now we make sure this never happens again. The children looked up at him with hope in their eyes. The future belonged to them now.